In a world filled with voices, opinions, and eyes in every corner, stepping out into the spotlight of our own stories can sometimes feel like the hardest step to take. It's in these moments of hesitation, at the edge of action, where we find ourselves asking, what will they think? But what if we could silence the chorus of doubts and embrace the strength of our own voice? So let's start with a simple yet profound act of acknowledgement. Raise your hand if you've ever held back from expressing yourself, sharing your ideas, or pursuing your passions, all because the fear of how others might judge you seemed too daunting a barrier to cross. Have you ever let the potential opinions of others dictate the paths you choose or the doors you dare to open? Raise your hand if you're ready to challenge that fear, to step into the light of your own potential, unburdened by the weight of others' judgments. Are you prepared to embark on a journey of self-discovery, where the only voice that guides you is your own, fortified by courage and the support of a community that understands? This fear of judgment, it's a common issue that many of us grapple with. It can be as simple as not wearing that bold outfit you love, or as complex as avoiding social situations altogether. For some, it's a part of a larger concern known as social anxiety disorder, which affects 1 in 10 people at some point in their lives. It's like having an internal critic on overdrive, constantly scrutinizing your every move, making you second-guess yourself. This fear can limit personal growth and happiness, making us prisoners within our own minds. We begin to live our lives based on what we think others expect from us, rather than what truly makes us happy. But here's the good news: we can overcome this fear. Stick around to learn how. Before we conquer our fears, let's understand them first. The fear of judgment, often associated with social anxiety disorder, is more common than you might think. It's that unnerving feeling you get when you think people are judging you, and it can be triggered by a variety of social situations. What's fascinating is that this fear doesn't just pop up out of nowhere. It's influenced by a mix of elements including genetic factors, personality traits, and even our upbringing. For instance, if you've grown up in an environment where criticism was a regular occurrence, there's a good chance that you might develop a heightened sensitivity to judgment. Now let's talk about personality traits. Some individuals are naturally more introspective and sensitive to their environment. These traits can make them more susceptible to the fear of judgment. They might constantly worry about how they're perceived by others, causing them to avoid social situations or interactions. And then there are genetic factors. Our genes play a role in shaping our personality and behavior. So if you have a family history of anxiety disorders, you might be more prone to experiencing fear of judgment. But here's the tricky part. This fear often results in avoidance and withdrawal behaviors, creating a vicious cycle. The more you avoid social situations due to fear of judgment, the more intense this fear becomes. It's like being stuck in a quicksand of self-doubt and anxiety. However, it's crucial to remember that it's okay to feel this way. Fear is a natural human response, and almost everyone experiences it at some point, but when it starts to interfere with your daily life, it's time to take action. Understanding our fears is the first step towards overcoming them. Now, let's move on to the strategies to beat this fear. Strategy number 1 is knowing your strengths and limitations. You see, self-awareness is a powerful ally. It's like a compass guiding you through the maze of life, helping you navigate your path with a clear understanding of what you're capable of. Sure, it's important to push your boundaries, but knowing your limitations allows you to set realistic goals and expectations. Now, how does this help with the fear of judgment? Well, when you're aware of your strengths, you're less likely to be swayed by the opinions of others. You know what you're good at, and that builds confidence. On the flip side, understanding your limitations can help you manage self-criticism. It's okay to acknowledge that there are things you're not so great at. Everyone has areas they can improve in. In the grand scheme of things, knowing your strengths and limitations gives you a more realistic view of yourself. It helps you to appreciate your unique qualities and accept your imperfections, which can significantly reduce the fear of judgment. After all, you're human, not a robot designed for perfection. Remember, no one knows you better than you know yourself. So, take a moment to reflect on your strengths and limitations, embrace them, and let them guide you. Knowing yourself is a powerful tool against the fear of judgment. Strategy number 2. Don't let others define you. It's crucial to have a solid sense of self, to know who you are and what you stand for. Why? Because when you're solid in your self-perception, the opinions of others don't have the power to shake you. They become just that, opinions, not facts, not definitions, simply perspectives. Now let's get real for a moment. Others' opinions often say more about them than they do about you. Their views are shaped by their experiences, their biases, their fears. So, when you find yourself swaying under someone else's judgment, take a step back. Remember, their opinion is not your reality. So, how do you stop letting others define you? It starts with you. Yes, you. You need to trust in your own worth, believe in your own value, and stand firm in your own identity. It's not about arrogance or disregarding constructive criticism, it's about understanding your worth is not up for debate or dependent on validation from others. Remember, you define you, not others. Strategy number 3 is being aware of your inner critic. Now, this is a voice that we're all familiar with. It's that nagging whisper or sometimes a loud shout in the back of our minds, the one that questions our every move, doubts our capabilities, and is a constant source of self-judgment. This critic, my friends, can be harsher than any external judgment we might face. You see, our inner critic is born out of our insecurities and the fear of not being good enough. It's a defense mechanism, trying to protect us from potential failure or embarrassment. But in doing so, it often holds us back from taking risks, from stepping out of our comfort zones, and from truly realizing our potential. The key here is not to eliminate this voice, that's nearly impossible, but to recognize it, understand it, and then challenge it. When it tells you that you can't do something, question why. When it tells you that you're not good enough, remind it of your strengths and accomplishments. By actively engaging with your inner critic, you can start to reshape your thoughts, turning self-doubt into self-confidence. Taming your inner critic is a crucial step in overcoming the fear of judgment. Strategy number 4. Make yourself a priority. Now, this might sound a bit selfish at first, but trust me, it's not. Making yourself a priority is about self-care and self-respect. It's about acknowledging that you're just as important as anyone else, and that your needs, wants, and feelings matter too. When you make yourself a priority, you're saying to the world, "Hey, I matter." This can be a powerful confidence booster. And guess what happens when you're confident? That's right, the fear of judgment tends to fade away. You become less concerned about what others think because you know your worth isn't determined by their opinions. You can start making yourself a priority by setting aside time for things you enjoy and activities that make you feel good about yourself. It could be as simple as reading a book, taking a walk, or even just enjoying a cup of coffee in peace. Remember, it's not about being selfish, it's about self-care. When you start caring for yourself, you'll notice a shift in your mindset. You'll start to realize that you're worth more than others' judgment, and that it's okay to prioritize your own happiness. When you prioritize yourself, you become less concerned with others' judgment. Our final strategy is investing in personal growth. This is a game changer, folks. Why? Because when you invest time and energy into developing your skills, expanding your knowledge, and understanding yourself better, you're essentially building a fortress of self-confidence. This fortress is resilient and can stand strong against the fear of judgment. Think about it. When you know your worth, understand your abilities, and are constantly striving to be better, does the opinion of others really matter? Not much. You become your own barometer of success. You're no longer defined by the judgment of others, but by your own progress and achievements. Personal growth can take many forms. It could be learning a new language, taking up a new hobby, reading a new genre of books, or even enrolling in a professional course. The idea is to keep the wheels of learning turning. Remember, every bit of knowledge you gain, every skill you acquire, adds another brick to your fortress of self-confidence. It's a journey, not a destination. And the more you travel, the less you fear the judgment of others. Investing in yourself is the best investment you can make. Overcoming the fear of judgment isn't an overnight process, but it's definitely possible. We've taken a journey together, exploring the nature of this fear and how it can sometimes hold us back. It's important to remember that this fear is a shared experience, something that 1 in 10 people grapple with at some point in their lives, but it's not an insurmountable obstacle. We've discussed 5 powerful strategies to combat this fear. Recognizing your strengths and limitations, refusing to let others define you, being aware of your inner critic, making yourself a priority, and investing in personal growth. Each of these strategies offers a unique path to resilience, to reclaiming your power, and to living free from the constraints of others' opinions. Knowing your strengths and limitations is about embracing your authentic self. It's about understanding that nobody is perfect, and that's okay. Refusing to let others define you is about asserting your individuality. You are the author of your life story, not anyone else. Being aware of your inner critic is about acknowledging that we can often be our own harshest judge. It's about learning to turn down the volume of that critical voice inside our heads. Making yourself a priority is about self-care and self-love. It's about understanding that your needs and desires are important. Investing in personal growth is about lifelong learning. It's about embracing change and seeking to become the best version of yourself. Remember, these strategies are not quick fixes. They require practice and patience. They require you to be kind to yourself, even when you stumble. But with time and perseverance, you'll find that the fear of judgment loses its grip. You'll find that you're stronger, braver, and more resilient than you ever thought possible. Overcoming the fear of judgment isn't just about facing external opinions, it's about embracing our authentic selves and recognizing our worth beyond others' perceptions. If today's journey into overcoming the fear of judgment has sparked a light within you, if you felt a moment of courage, a whisper of, "I can do this," then you're already on your path to freedom. And remember, this path doesn't have to be walked alone. Here at Raise Your Hand, we're not just a channel, we're a community. A community that stands together, supports one another, and celebrates each step we take towards living freely, beyond the shadows of judgment. So if you're ready to join a group of brave souls committed to facing their fears and sharing their stories, hit that subscribe button. Ring the bell to stay updated on all our latest content, designed to empower, inspire, and support you on your journey. But don't stop there. Share this video with someone who needs to hear its message. Who knows? Your action could be the nudge they need to start their own journey towards overcoming the fear of judgment. And we'd love to hear your story. Drop a comment below sharing how you're facing your fears or what you found most helpful in today's video. Your insight could be the beacon of hope for someone else out there.